Isn't that the line from Lord of the Rings, too, when Gandalf is, like, sliding off of the edge of the cliff and they just defeated the Balrog? And he says, "Make aioli out of Fresca, you fools." And then he looks at him, and then he cracks open a Fresca and takes a big old drink out of it, and he leaps off the edge, and he goes and plunges a sword right into the Balrog's skull, but the handle of the sword is just a giant Fresca hilt, and you realize that he's been imbued with the power of Fresca, and then he comes back into the next movie as not Gandalf the Grey, he's Gandalf the White, because he slayed the Balrog with the Fresca sword, and everybody's like, I don't know what that aioli was about, but then they went and they made that aioli and they took it over to Mordor with them, and they used it to actually become friends with Sauron, and Sauron was like, wow, this is actually a pretty good aioli. I didn't know that you could do this. And they were like, yeah, actually, we didn't know either until our friend fell and defeated the Balrog. Look, this is him. And he'll walk in, and he walks in and he greets Sauron, and they shake hands, and he leans in for a kiss, and Sauron kind of pulls back, but then he stops and they lock eyes, and then they actually move in and they kiss like very passionately with one another. Gandalf and Sauron, they start really macking down, and they're like, whoa, oh my god, I didn't know that Fresca was this powerful. And then they're like, excuse us, hobbits, we need to take this into the other room. And then the hobbits are like, okay, I guess what should we do in the meantime? And Sauron's like, oh, there's a lava pit over there, you can just go toss the ring over there if you'd like. I don't even really want it anymore, I found everything that I need. And right as he says that, he reaches his arm around Gandalf, and he looks at him, and Gandalf looks at him, and he winks, and then they walk off together out of scene. And then Frodo goes over to the edge of the cliff looking down into the pool of lava, but he actually figures out that it's not a pool of lava, it's a pool of Fresca, and he looks at the one ring of power, and then he throws it down into the water, and what happens is the Fresca becomes imbued and becomes like a watery hand that comes up, and the one ring of power slides down onto its finger, and it drops down, and it does the Terminator thumbs up as it goes down into the water, and then the whole like world lights up, and then Frodo wakes up, and he's like, oh, where am I? And then Samwise comes walking in. He's like, Mr. Frodo, Mr. Frodo. And he looks at him. He's like, Sam. And then Sam like jumps on the bed, and they all start happily dancing. And then Gandalf comes walking in, wiping his lips off. And he says, everything's all taken care of. We did it. And Frodo says, wow, that's great. What do we do now? And he looks over to Sauron, and Sauron looks back over him. And then Gandalf looks at the camera, and he says, I guess we'll have to see. And he winks, and then the credits start rolling. Wasn't that a great part of the movie? That's my favorite part of the movie. That's for sure. Oh my god, dude. A lot of people don't really know about the whole Sauron and Gandalf love affair. Someone please clip all of that. Please. Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah, it was in the extended version. You had to get the the extended release director's cut version, which was like $60 for each movie, but there was so much extra bonus features to it that you couldn't help but get it. There was a lot of stuff in there, and actually one of those movies had the secret recipe of Fresca, so they had to go back and take everybody's copy and then trade them out with probably what copy you have at home, which is just kind of like how they made the movie and all the swords and stuff like that, and how many times they had to put fake feet on but they didn't show it in the shot, and how pissed they were about having to put those stupid feet on. That's probably the one that you're used to, but if you're quick enough to watch it and figure it out, they do show how to make Fresca in one of those, but they're like pretty much impossible to find one of those copies. If you guys find one of the Fresca Lord of the Ring copies, Dude, please link it to me because I will buy it, whatever the cost is. Oh my god. I'm so lucky that you guys